Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to look at how to use some basic formulas and functions in Excel. These functions and formulas are widely used to derive significant insights from data sets. As you can see here, we have a business data which includes several variables like the business area, date, revenue, cost, product category, and refund. In this particular lesson, we are going to apply the functions of summation, the average, minimum, maximum, SUMIF, and AVERAGEIF on all of the variables that we have here. So first, let us calculate the total revenue, total cost, and total refund which was made by this particular company. So in this particular cell, we are going to calculate the totals of revenue first, then cost, and finally refund using the sum function. So as you can see, we have the totals here, and to make this bold, we click on the cell and then we press Ctrl+B. You can see that is bold now. Then over here on the cell we will have the values. We'll make this bold as well. Okay. So right now we have the revenue, the cost, and refund. So let's go ahead and find the totals using the sum function. First of all, we initiate the function with an equal sign, and then we go sum, and we click on this, and then the next thing we'll do is to impute the range of values that we intend summing, and that is on column C. So we'll select the first cell which contains the value, and then select the rest of the values by clicking on Ctrl+Shift plus the downward arrow, and then we click enter. So let's make this wider so that we can be able to see the value. Okay, that is the total revenue that we have. So the next thing we'll do is click on this cell, then go right to the end just like so, and then we double click, and you can see that we have for cost and refund, but we have to make some changes. We have to change the range of values. So the only thing we'll do is delete this particular range, and then come over to cost, and then Ctrl+Shift, downward arrow, then enter. So we have the total for cost. Then we'll do the same for refund. So we'll delete this, and then come over to refund. As usual, Ctrl+Shift, downward arrow, enter, and there we have it. Now you can see that with the sum function, we've been able to get the totals for revenue, for cost, and refund. That is for the numeric values, numeric variables that we have in our data set. So let's take a step further and also get the average. So you can go ahead and do what I did. I just copied this and pasted it here, and then just edited the totals from totals to average, and then the values is still the same thing. So now we want to calculate the average using the average function. So the first thing we'll do is, as usual, you initiate it with an equal sign, and then we go average, then we double click it. Then the next thing we'll do is to input the range of values. First thing here is the revenue, so click on the first cell, then Ctrl Shift downward arrow, then enter. Sorry about that. And then you can see that we have average for our revenue. So as I did before, come down here, down the cell, just right here, then we double click. Then the next thing we'll do is to make changes to the range of values we have, to just make everything easier for us. Sorry. So for the cost, we select the range of values for cost, Ctrl Shift downward arrow, enter. So that is our average for cost. Then we do the same thing for refund. So try and do that on your own. I will just skip to the part where I have already done that. So the next thing on our list is maximum function. As you can see, I have done, I've copied and pasted and edited as required. So initiate with an equal sign, and then the function for this is just max. We'll double click, and then we select the range of values. Just we will be selecting the first, which is the revenue. So we'll click on the first cell that has the value, Ctrl Shift downward arrow, and then enter. So we have the maximum for revenue. We'll do the same for cost and refund. As usual, we are going to edit the range. So try and practice and do this on your own. So let me know if you get it in the comment section. So I'll just fast forward to where I have the correct values already. So as you can see, we now have the maximum values for revenue, cost and refund. So check through mine and see whether you were correct. I hope you paused the video though. So now let's go ahead and do that for the minimum function as well. So for the minimum function, we go ahead and initiate the function with an equal sign, and this time around is min, and then we click on the function, and then we take input our range. We input the range for revenue, click on enter, you get your values. Do the same for cost and for refund. I won't be doing this because I know you are up to the challenge, so I'm going to leave it for you. So right now we can see that we have been able to deal with this business data. We've been able to get the totals, the average values, maximum values and the minimum values. So let us go right ahead and also look at the SUMIF and the AVERAGEIF function. So for example, we want to calculate total revenue and total cost, but this time by each business area made by the company. We have to use a new function of summation, which is called the SUMIF function. Similarly, suppose we want to calculate the average refund values for each business area, then we have to use another new function, which is the AVERAGEIF function. So let's see how the function actually works. So at first, we have to derive the unique values of the business area. We want to plot the business area on this cell. So we'll initiate that by an equal sign, and then we use the function unique. We click it, then we select the range of values, that is here, then Ctrl plus Shift, down arrow button, and then click on enter. So as we can see, these are the unique values we have on the variable business area. So the next thing we'll have, because we're trying to get the total cost by each business area. So the next thing we're going to do is the total sales and then the average refund. So there are three key infos we need for this function. First is the range, then the criteria, and then the sum range. So the first thing we'll do is to impute the range. So the range here is the business areas. So we'll select the first cell, then Ctrl plus Shift, down arrow button, and then enter. So we have, sorry, not the enter button, we still have to input our criteria, which is North America. Sorry. Okay, sorry, the comma first, then North America, then another comma, and then our sum range. Our sum range here is the revenue. So we select the entire range for the revenue, Ctrl Shift down button, and then we'll close the bracket, and then we click on enter. So right here you can see the total sales revenue for North America, but we have to make some changes here. So we want the for the range and for the range, want it to be constant. So we're going to introduce a $sign on the row before the row and column number. For the row and column number, we're going to still do the same thing for the sum range. So do that on your own. So you can see that I have done mine. We left the criteria open because we have other business areas such as Europe, South America, and Asia. So we did not lock that, but for the range and the sum range, we locked it so that it will remain the same for when we double click it for other variables. So say enter. Sorry, okay, it's fine. So I will come here just at the bottom of this cell and then double click. So you can see that we have totals for so we can see that we have totals for North America, for Europe, for South America, and for Asia. So you can see that it's very easy and straightforward to use this SUMIF function. So let's go ahead and equally use the AVERAGEIF function and see how that works. So just the same thing, the same pattern. We initiate with an equal sign, but this time around we'll be using the AVERAGEIF function. We'll click here. The same thing, we need the range, the criteria, and the average range. So our range is still the same thing, that is the business area. Okay, and then our criteria will be right here, that is North America. We'll introduce another comma sign, and then our average range will be the refund. So next is Ctrl plus Shift down arrow button, then we close our brackets and then we hit enter, and there we have it. Just like we did before, we would have to lock the range and the average range, and then leave the criteria open so that we'll have the same values across the different business areas. So let's do that just like I have done, and then you click on enter, and that is what we have. So you do the same thing. So if you have these values over here, that is for the average refund, you should know that you're correct if you have these exact same values. Alright, that's it for today's tutorial on how to calculate for sum, average, mean, max, SUMIF, and the AVERAGEIF functions in Excel. I hope you found this session helpful and that you are now more confident in using these essential formulas to analyze your data. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more Excel tips and tricks. If you have any questions or suggestions for future topics, drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.